How's it going? Welcome to another Java tutorial. Today we are going to be going over operators. So we went through a few operators in the last few videos, but I'm going to go through all of them all over again, just so anyone that hasn't seen any of my previous videos, they can still understand it. So I taught you how to do a comment before, but if you just want to do like a block comment, you can do the slash and star, and then everything inside of these, so all of these lines are going to be commented out. It's just quite easy to do instead of having to do 2 slashes every single time you need to comment. So the first type of operators are the arithmetic operators. So these are the very first ones. So the very first one we have is addition, and the value that we used is the plus. So let's say we have a integer x which is equal to 20, and then we have an integer y which is equal to 10. Then we have an integer z which is equal to x plus y. And then let's say we just print out z. So what's going to happen here? We have the value x which is 20, y which is 10, and then we have z which is equal to x plus y. So what's going to happen is we have x which is 20, we're going to add y which is 10, and we're going to store it in z. So it's going to be 20 plus 10 which is 30, and we're going to store it in z, and then we'll just print it out onto the screen. 30. So that's the addition. Pretty straightforward, I think. Next one is the subtraction. And for the subtraction we will use just a hyphen, or the minus sign. And the exact same thing. Instead of the plus we use a minus. We run that, you can see we get 10, because we have x which is 20, we take by y which is 10, and we leave it with 10, and the answer is 10. So pretty straightforward. Third one we have is going to be multiplication, and that value is going to be stored as this star. I don't actually know the name for it, but it's a star. And if we multiply, so if we use that, we have x which is 20, multiply y which is 10. So the answer will be stored in z, and it'll be outputted as 200. So that the star just basically multiplies two numbers, and we just store the value as z. Fourth one we have is the next one, which is division. And the way we use division is just a slash. So if we change that to a slash, see we'll have 20, divide that by 10, and the answer will be stored as 2 as in z, and we'll get printed out 2. The fifth one is the modulus, or the modulo, and that is just the percentage sign. So what the modulus does is it divides two numbers and it gets its remainder. So if we do this, what this is doing is we have x which is 20, we're dividing that by y, so the answer is 2, and we're going to store the remainder of that in z. But if you divide 20 by 10, there's no remainder, because the answer is, because 10 goes into 22 times exactly. But let's say if we have different values, let's say we do y as 6 for example. So 6 only goes into 23 times, but has a remainder of 2. So we're going to get that remainder, store it, and print it out. So x divided by 6 is 3 with a remainder of 2, and then that's going to be stored as z, and then we have the remainder as 2. Next one we're going to have is the increment. And that is as a plus plus. You kind of can guess what this means. It will increment any value by 1. So let's say we have the value x, and we just want to increment it by 1. So all we have to do is do x plus plus, semicolon, to end it. So what this is going to do, we're going to get x which is 20, and we're just going to increment it by 1, or just add 1. And then if we print out x here, see we get 21. So it's as simple as that. That's just the way you increment. This is very useful whenever you decide doing loops and such on, which we'll get later on. Yeah, that's the increment. Next one that we have is the opposite to that, the decrement, decrement. And that's the same one as subtraction. You do 2 hyphens, minus, minus, and you might guess how you use that. 2 minuses, and that'd be 19. We have 20, then we just do one decrement, and then that we start as 19, we print it out 19. So those are the arithmetic operators. There are a good few more, to be honest. So the next one that we're going to be going over is I guess we can do the assignment operators next. So the assignment operators. The assignment operators are just the way you assign an operator to a value. So let's say the very first one we'll have is equal, which we kind of know what that does. Let's say we have an int x and we equal that to 5. And we print this out, x, you get 5. Pretty straightforward. We have x, we equal that to 5, and then the value for x is now 5. Pretty straightforward. Second one that we're going to be going over is the plus equal operator. And the way this works is, let's say we have a value x, which is equal to 5. And let's say we do x plus equal to 5 again. Alright, what this is going to do is going to get x, which is 5, and we are going to add 5 to it, and then equal x to that value. So x plus 5 is 10, and we're going to equal 10 back to x. So you see value is 10. So this is the way you can easily add any value and then store it in that same value. The third one that we're going to be going over now is the opposite of that, which is minus equal, and you can kind of guess what this does. Let's say we do this. We have x, which is 5. We're going to take away 1, which is 4, and we're going to store 4 in x. Simple as that. There are other ones, so we can also do, like, I'm not going to go over these, but you can kind of understand that we have the multiplication, which will just multiply. We have the division as well, and then we also have the modulo as well. We also have modulo. So pretty straightforward. It's kind of the same as these ones. We don't have the increment or the decrement for the assignment operators. But yeah, but those are the assignment operators. Pretty straightforward, I think. Yeah, we'll go over to the next ones now, which is the comparison operators. So comparison operators. So number one, I kind of went through this in the last video. It's the equal to. Equal to, and we will store this as 2 equals. Don't get confused with the set, or like the setter. Whenever there's one equal sign, we're setting a value to something, and whenever we have 2 equals, we're checking if that value is the same. So we can quickly do this. I'm going to use a few if statements now. So let's say we have an int. I'm going to use the same one as we used in the last video. Int time is equal to 12. And let's say we have an if statement. Time is equal to 12, and let's do else. Alright, so let's say we have, let's say we print this out. Go, it is new, and then we will print out. It is some other time. So what it's going to check is if time is equal to 20. See the way we use only one equal here? That's because we are setting time to 12. Whenever we use two equals, we are checking if time is equal to 20. We print this out, you see it is noon. So we have 13. See, it is some other time. Because the time does not equal 12, it equals 13. So that's the first one. The second one is the not equal. Not equal. And we use the exclamation mark and then the equal. So if we use this in here, we set this back to 12. And if we print this out, you can see what we're saying here is if time does not equal to 12. You can see it does equal to 12, so this statement here is false. And then we print out the other time. If we do, let's say we do 13, and we print this out, see we get it is noon because time does not equal to 12. The other one that we can do is greater than. Greater than, and I'm going to go through the other one as well. So greater than, you might know is just greater than, and we got the fourth one, which is going to be less than. Same thing, just the other way around. So now let's see. So we have another if statement here. If else, we have some in here. Let's say we have. So let's say we have time is time. Let's say time is less than 10. Here we have time is equal to time is greater than. Time is greater than. Let's say we do 16. So that's 4. I've done this the other way around. Else if, and then let's say we'll do another one else, and then we'll write something in here. So let's say it is morning, it is evening, and then right here we will do. Let's have another one actually. We'll do else if time is greater than. Let's do. So 22 here. It is night. Let's say we do again 16. It is evening, and then we'll do a last else, and we will write it is midday. Okay. Now so the way this works basically is we check the first condition. We check if time is less than 10. You can see it's 13, so it's not less than 10. Then we go into the next one. We go, if time is more than 22. It's not more than 22. Then we go, if time is greater than 16. It's not greater than 16, it's 13, it's less than. And then because all these conditions are false, then we will print out this very last one. It is midday. Let's change the value here to 8. So it's 8 in the morning. So now you can see the first condition is true because time is less than 10. So 8 is less than 10. That's true. So we will print out it is morning. There are other ones, except the only thing is, let's say if we have the value, 10. When we print this out, you can see we get it is midday because what we're saying here is, even though this is 10, we're checking if time is less than 10. So time is 10, so it's not less than 10 because time is not equal to 10. Time is not less than 10 because it's equal to 10. So this is actually still false. So there are two other ones for here which we can use, which is the greater than or equal to. And then we have another one as well, which is less than or equal to. And then we use the same one, the greater than, and then we just use an equal. Same way here, less than or equal to. So now what we're checking here, let's say if we use one of these in here, we do the equal one here, for example. Now we're checking if time is less than 10 or equal to 10. Right, so now you will see if we run this, we will get, it is more than, even though time is less than 10, even though time is not less than 10, it's still equal to 10. So that's why this condition here is now going to be true, and we can use the same thing as greater than or less than. Now the very last one that I'm going to be going over with now are called the logical operators. Right, logical operators. Now there are only three. Okay, there are only three, and so let's get started. So the first one is going to be the and the way we use the and is we use two and symbols. Then there's also the or. Then there is the or. Which is, it's these two lines here. And then the last one we use is the not. Yeah. So there's three of these here. So let's say we have another one. Let's say we just have x, I guess. Let's just say we have age. If we do if, and then if you do something like age, let's say we do age is equal to 10, and then we do and let's have another one. Let's have int. Let's just be better. Let's do x and y. And we do. So this is actually x now. So we have x is equal to 10. So if x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 20, we will print out. Let's just print out yes, yes, and then else we'll just print out no. So what we're checking here now is we're checking if x is equal to 10 and if y is equal to 10. You can see these both statements are true. We run this, we get yes. Let's say one of these are false. So x does equal to 10. However, y does not equal to 20 because it's 21. You can see we'll get outputs no, because both of these conditions have to be true. Now, what if we only want one condition to be true? Well, then that's where we use the or. So instead of the and, we use the or. Now, what we're checking is if this is true or if this is true. So one or the other can be true. So you can see we still get yes, because even though y does not equal to 20, so it's 21, x does equal to 10. So the output will still be yes. Then the very last one, I guess, that we can use is the not. Let's say we have x is equal to 21. Then we can use this value here, but then we have to put it inside brackets. So what this means is not, basically. So it's the opposite. So we're checking if x is equal to 21, but because we have the not, this statement now is if x is not equal to 21. So you can see that x is not equal to 21, so we get yes. If x does equal to 10, see the value is x is equal to 10, so this is actually true. Right? Now if we run this, see we get no. So even though this is true, we're checking that this here has to be false. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understood it. There are tutorials online you can go look at. There's the W3 Schools tutorials point. You can have a look if you don't really understand them. There are a couple more, but they're a bit more advanced. I'm not going to go into them yet. Probably in a later video I will. But stay tuned for that. I'll probably upload that pretty soon.